Good evening. Welcome to my back lounge or study, as I like to call it sometimes. I've built this wall of books, got all the bookshelves out of the trash, and I have to admit, most of the books out of the trash too. I can't bear to see old books, especially books with nice bindings, thrown away. So I bring them back here and I put them in these shelves, and occasionally in the evening, it's cold and wet outside, I'll browse through them, see what people were writing about 50, 60, 100 or more years ago. There's Charles Darwin, Descent of Man. There's The Secret Doctrine by Madame Blavatsky. I've only got volume 3. This is really heavy going. Some papers on the bearing of occult philosophy on life. The Jewel in the Lotus. Magic and Miracles. Wisdom and Truth. Man and Locus. The Crucifixion of the Christos. Prana and Artha. I can't pronounce it. Sacred Centers of the Body. Here we have The Complete Book of Etiquette by Amy Vanderbilt. Now, this is a book on American manners. Now, I said to an American friend of mine, American manners? Surely that's an oxymoron. Unfortunately, the comment didn't go over very well. Anyway, Amy's full of advice about use of knives and forks, what to wear, not to chew with your mouth open, quite a bit about spitting or not spitting in company. But if you have to spit, please, she asks, do use a spittoon. That's what it's there for, after all. She shows you how to write invitation cards, how to sit people at the table, social pleasantries, and when to use someone's first names, what to do if you can't remember names. Formal dinners, informal dinners, hunger pains, setting the table for breakfast. The breakfast tray always has a tray cloth, which is usually linen. It may have its own special china. And then there's a diagram of the, see that? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, there we are, breakfast tray. Oh, I quite like that. There's a simple low flour arrangement. Then we have the jam jar, toast or rolls in the napkin or under a dome, sugar and cream. And then below there's the butter plate, the napkin, the breakfast plate, salt and pepper, coffee cup with spoon to the right of the handle, the coffee pot, the morning paper in an upright holder. So Yeah, it goes on about laundry. How to write letters. A letter to the White House. Dear Mr. President. Well, she gives the whole thing, a letter to the White House. On the right-hand side, you write your address and date in full. And then to the President of the United States of America, the White House, Washington, D.C., USA. That's if it's sent from abroad, or if it's sent from anywhere in the country of the United States, simply the President of the White House. And then you address the letter, Mr. President, or less formally, my dear Mr. President, and the tone of your letter can decide which you wish to use. So her example letter is, your address to Congress last week brought us new confidence in the quality of your leadership. While my wife and I are not members of your party and have previously taken issue with you on many measures you have endorsed, we now feel that your recent actions have shown us that we have been wrong in some of our judgments. I believe, sir, you are on the road to converting two hitherto hidebound opponents to your party's platform. I have the honour to remain, very respectfully, signed, Cyrus Tweedsworth. Now, obviously, in that letter you write, it would include what it is that you approve of specific measures. So you're actually saying, well, if you do this, I'm going to vote for you. Now, that's very different to a letter that I've got in here somewhere on Daniel Boone, where somebody writes to the President of the United States round about... No, it's a book on Davy Crockett. So they write to the President of the United States in Davy Crockett's time, and the book's about American language. And basically the letter says, God damn you, Mr. President, God damn your family, God damn your government, and God damn your goddamn, and it's just one series of God dams, and ends with God damn your soul to hell. So this is obviously from someone who doesn't agree with the president's course. Unlike Mr. Cyrus Tweedsworth, who does. Okay, that's that. And we have then we have a book on the Yivaro Headhunters. It's a shrunken head. Among the Headshrinkers of the Amazon by Bernard Flournoy. Now, Bernard was amongst the headshrinkers. Yep, they're not headhunters, they're headshrinkers, sorry. Introduction by Brian Fawcett. The remote regions of the Amazon in search of a primitive headhunting tribe, the Yivaro. Deserted by most of their Indian attendants in the heart of the danger zone, they braved the manifold perils of the forest alone. Witnessing dances and witch doctor ceremonies and the climax of a manhunt with the sinister ritual of shrinking the victim's head. Flournoy, former president of the Société d'Explorateurs et les Voyageurs Français, an experienced explorer, has led 6 expeditions into the upper Amazon. So here's his story. Very sensationalist, of course. This is real 1953. Yeah. Brilliant stuff. All blowpipes and and piercings, lots of head shrinking. Great stuff. Oh, there we have Margaret Mead in Samoa. This is the making and unmaking of an anthropological myth by Derek Freeman. Now, this is where Derek Freeman is his critique of Margaret Mead's book, Coming to Age in Samoa, where he says that she was basically led up the garden path, basically. And he says, what do you expect if you ask teenage girls about sex? They're obviously going to tell you a whole lot of crap, which he reckons they did, and then she went and wrote a book on it, and that then influenced the whole nature or nurture debate at the beginning, early in the 20th century, and so he influenced it into the way of, which way does it go? Nature. Well, nurture, I can't remember now, sorry. Influenced it the way Frank Barris wanted it to go, but then he's saying it was all crap. So that's interesting. And here we have a National Geographic magazine. This is it's got colour pictures in, so it's not early. The front page is missing. You got the Camargue colour pictures, all kind of Hebridean, the Hebrides spinning wool, sheepdogs, remote Indian tribes, dances of golden age. Oh, here we are. I know these are young boys. Yes, a whole lot of boys. All the way the world was back in the middle or the early years of the 20th century. Cobra. Some of these animals are not going to exist for much longer. I was reading that today. Someone was saying that we took the stuff for granted, but the northwest frontier, here we are, Pakistan's inherited problem. The author served in India in the Royal Engineers from 1934 to 1947 and from 1939 to 1942 in the Northwest Frontier Province. Now, talking about the Northwest Frontier, all we have here